All right, so bottom of the deck, what do we have going on for Sagittarius? Six of Cups. This is a healing. This could be forgiveness. This is also forgiving the past. This is nostalgia, the card of nostalgia. So I feel like what's going on for some of you is you may be looking back on happier times, easier times, and, you're kind of reflecting on the good old days. Back in the day, this used to happen, blah, 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 right? So there is a lot of nostalgia going on. There is a lot of backwards reflection going on. And what I'm seeing is a lot of the Gen Xers are saying, all right, no problem. We've got to stay home. We've got to adjust our lifestyles, to just being home and not being able to go to restaurants or bars or whatever. Well, I feel like many of us Gen Xers and maybe baby boomers are like, all right, well, this is just kind of like how it used to be back in our day. We didn't have, iPhones. We didn't have all those fancy video games. I think for Gen Xers, we had Atari. We had Atari. We had Pac-Man. Then I think that's about as fancy as we got Centipede, right? So that was pretty high tech back in the day. But we had phone calls, we spent a lot of time at home. If we weren't at school or at an activity, like a sporting event or like practice, we were home, playing in the neighborhood, connecting with friends. We were on the phone talking to people, connecting that way. Remember Party Line? I feel like this is what is going on with a lot of Sagittarius right now, is that we're reflecting on how we used to live life. And I feel like with this global pandemic, now that we're being forced to shelter in place and to self-quarantine and to social distance, that a lot of the millennials and, they're just like, how are we going to do this? How are we going to survive? It's easy. It's like, just take the lead of the Gen Xers. We got this. But it's like taking that model and then, of course, putting a creative spin on it. Because now we have great technology that allows us to create virtual parties. I think there's apps that are now being uploaded to where it's sort of like you can check in, almost like a chat room. You can go in and you can be in that room and see who else shows up. And you'll get a notification like, oh, so-and-so is in this room. And then you can start like creating like a chat. So it's like a virtual meeting place, right? Since we can't meet together in physical reality because of the social distancing, requirement for this pandemic. But yeah, so I'm getting a very happy vibe from you all, Sagittarius, which is interesting because the previous readings I've been doing, there's been a heaviness associated with them. A lot of stress, a lot of fear and anxiety associated with a lot of the previous readings. But with you guys, I'm getting the sense that you're like, okay, I got this. It's good. And I feel like that's very Sagittarian of you, right? But I do get the sense that you're looking for ways to make the best out of this situation. All right, so I am liking this energy. Thank you, Sagittarius, for being optimistic and, just sort of happy-go-lucky with it. You guys are kind of ideas people and, you don't really dwell on the negativity. You're looking for solutions, looking for ways to fix this. And I feel like there's a lot of nostalgia there and you're looking for things that we did in the past to apply for things today that can apply to the future. So putting like a futuristic spin on how we used to live our lives, right? Yeah. So there's that. This pandemic is in a weird way a blessing in disguise because a lot of us, work, 40, 50, 60 hours a week. And a lot of us are complaining we don't have enough time for friends, for family, for spouses, for dating, for working out, for whatever, for ourselves, right? And when it comes to the weekends, it was always like, we're so tired. All we do is sleep. It's like, oh gosh, it's Sunday. well, maybe I'll try and, and go out somewhere, but it's like, well, I gotta go to a grocery store. I gotta, do my cooking for the week, but whatever. So I just get the sense that, with life before this pandemic was so on the go, we were experiencing burnout. And now life has come to a screeching halt, and this is being represented by the world. Life is different as we know it. We are entering a new phase, a new sense of reality, a new way of being. And it's like, all right, we can't go to work. We're being told to work from home. We're being told to socially distance ourselves. In some places, self-quarantining. San Francisco right now is under a 24-hour citywide quarantine. So, yeah, and, kids are not going back to school. Most likely, everything's being moved online. So this is, in a weird way, this is a blessing in disguise. It's about us really understanding what's truly important for us now. And it's not the job title, and it's not the materialism. It's who we have in our lives, our loved ones, our friends, our family members, our children. That's what's important. And now that we've literally come to a standstill in life, it's like, okay, here's what you've all been asking for. Time with the family, time to be home, time to work on the house, time to work on your project, your hobby, to work on yourself. Yeah, it's different. It is different. Life as we know it is different from here on out. And we are changed individuals. And this is time for us to really reflect on how we can be better human beings and how we can be better towards one another in this really stressful time period. I mean, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And that's what all the experts are saying. The health officials are coming out talking about, 45 days before the U.S. peaks. And then we start to see a decline in the curve, right? But with all this social distancing and self-quarantining, hopefully we'll flatten the curve and it won't be such a high peak, right? It'll be just, a little bit more steady and a little bit more flattened. So the idea is to flatten the curve, but what about life afterwards? So many people are out of work. The economy is tanking. This is a big call to arms. This is a big call to spiritual arms and being guardian angels for one another and being kind to one another, regardless of who you are, what your social, economic situation status is. None of that matters. We're all human beings. We're all in this together, And it's funny because I'm talking about this, and the next card that's coming up is the Five of Wands. It's about dropping our differences and seeing each other for who we are, human beings. We're each created in the image of God, right? Yeah. So this is about putting down our social differences, flattening the plane. So everyone's talking about flattening the health curve, flattening the curve of the pandemic. Well, this is about flattening the expectations of people, flattening the class system. We're all equal. We're all on equal footing. We're all in this together. We all have bills to pay. We're all scared for our health. We all want to feed ourselves and our family. We all want the best for one another. But we have to make sure we're being socially responsible. We have to stop the panic buying, the panic shopping, the hoarding. No more of that. We're just hurting ourselves. And you're hurting the elderly. You're hurting those who can't get to the supermarket as frequently as you can. And not only the elderly, it's also people who are, on a restricted budget, who don't have the luxury of going every single day to keep buying gallons of milk or rolls and rolls of toilet paper. That I still don't understand. But the baby formula and the diapers, think about that. There's mothers out there who need those supplies for their children. So if you're in any way, in any position to help support one another, give, donate, drop the arms, stop the fighting, stop the looking out for yourself mentality, and look out for others. It's time to shift focus and look out for others, because you're okay. You are okay. How about the rest of you? How about everyone else around you? Are they okay? Gotta drop this. It's time to drop this and move on. Yeah, it's gonna get better. 9 of Cups. If we come together as a collective, as a community, we can definitely flatten out the curve, the socioeconomic curve, and reduce the stigma. We are all human beings, and we are all fearful and struggling with our own things. All right? So do what you can to be this 9 of Cups energy for someone else, and allow someone else to be that 9 of Cup energy for you. All right? So Sagittarius, this is good. This is a good reading. This really is about giving and receiving. This is about up-leveling and moving forward together, as human beings through this crisis, and recognizing that this is, in a weird way, a gift, right? A gift of time and gift of togetherness. Get grounded and seek clarity in what type of leadership we'd like for our nation, right? So shine your light. Deep replenishment is coming through. Retreat, rest, and be held. It's coming in reversed. So I feel like Sagittarius, maybe some of you are feeling a bit stressed out, a bit anxious, a bit overwhelmed. It's time to just take a deep breath and relax and rest, recuperate, rejuvenate, reflect. There's a lot of moon energy in this card, a lot of water energy. It's time to connect with your spirituality and your emotions, and just really understand what's important to you at your core level, what really matters. And it's not your job title either. This is time for us to really, I feel like this is a do-over. This is a reset and a do-over for the human race to be like, all right, get your priorities together. How can you be better people? How could you be better human beings? How can we be better leaders in this world and in our communities? Change starts with you. What type of change do you want to see? All right. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, this is a good one. Let's start right here before I go any further. This popped up. Catch your breath. Yeah. I feel like it's going in line with the deep replenishment. And again, this came in reversed, right? Deep replenishment. Pause. Catch your breath. Time to rejuvenate. Time to reflect. Time to release the stress. Release all that. Put this crap down. Put aside differences. Yeah. But catch your breath. Yeah. Lots of yoga. Lots of stretching. Walk outside. Enjoy the sunlight, and consistency is coming through. Yeah, so I feel like these two cards together are wonderful healing advice for you all, Sagittarius. Catch your breath and consistency. So one thing I was reading in the news articles for folks who have been quarantined, for 2 months now, I was reading an article about a family in Wuhan, or just outside of Wuhan. It's an American family. And they were talking about consistency in their daily routine. The first week or two is going to be a blur, that we're all home. It's like, what do we do? How do we adapt to this new normal? I'm used to getting up and going to work and taking the kids to school and blah, blah, blah. And then we have to run to the activities and so forth and so forth and so forth. But now all that has stopped. It's like, crap. What do I do with all this time? The trick is to maintain a schedule. Develop a schedule and stick to it, and introduce consistency to your daily lives. Get up at the same time. Have breakfast at the same time. If you're homeschooling children, get them prepared and do school from the hours of, 9 to 12. Have lunch at 12, and then continue on with afternoon schooling. Or for you all, if you're working from home, set your work hours. But what they did say was get out of the pajamas. Make it a point to take a shower and put on clothes. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but it could be basically get out of your pajamas. Because there was a desire that people realized that I was like, you know what? This is our reality. We're home, but we don't have to be in pajamas sleeping all the time. because that gets old. That gets really unhealthy. But if you're able to develop a consistent routine, it's so much easier on you, on your emotional and mental health, and it does add purpose to your day. It adds consistency to your day, and you can show progress for your day, right? So some of you who aren't working from home, some of you may not be able to work from home, but you're just home. Well, what hobbies do you have? That this is a great time to perfect your hobby, or, develop a project, or work on some art pieces. There's lots of things to do. It's just, what is it that you want to do? But be consistent about it. Create a routine. That's really important to getting through this interesting time period that we're living in. Okay, so your archangel message is coming in from Archangel Rajuel, Divine Order. Everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion and see the underlying order. Yes, the illusion is what the media is putting out. The fear, the images of the hoarding, of the panic shopping, of the empty supermarket aisles, all that. Look past all that. Divine order, what's important to you. See this as a gift. Time at home with your family, with your loved ones. It's a true gift. It's a true gift for all of us, because that's what's going on around the world. This is a giant reset for who we are as individuals and who we are as human beings together. All right. Your angel message is coming in from Athena. It is safe for you to be powerful. You know how to be powerful in a loving way that benefits others as well as yourself. Yeah. Sagittarius, you all are natural leaders. You're fire energy. You like to lead. You like to get in there and call the shots. Yeah, do that. Be that light for someone in need. Be that pillar of strength for someone in need. And also allow someone else to be that pillar of strength and light for you, should you need it.